for my little intros. Get that out the way before I start talking.
Adu Musk is now live. Streaming Just Chatting, Ads Adventures. Thanks for tuning in, hope you enjoy. To stay up to date with the latest news and information, join us on the Discord at Video Game Film Frames. Add everyone, new video is out.
All right, there's two. There's one more coming. You watch. It's going to interrupt me in a second. I needed to make this video right quick to give you a quick assessment. Quick, kitty. To give you a quick assessment of what I looked at for this map for you. So let me hop over to that. There it is. All right. Now let's see. This is going to be my new setup for how I do things to make it a little easier to people to see and understand. So first I'm going to open up just straight Cherno. I'll show you what this thing looks like without any bullshit. But nothing attached to the map, just vanilla. Then what I'm gonna do is show you the vanilla map. There's nothing on it. Then I'm gonna load up Dude's Wall and show you what that looks like. And then I already gave it a once over this morning and kind of looked it over and checked for the crossover points and the general shape of it, shit like that. And I'll show you my assessment of it that I started, and then I started building the pieces that I would need. Now, I build the pieces separate somewhere else, and I make like a uniform structure of what I want or what I'm making and what I'm doing, and then I port it over to the place that I need it at. So I've already started with something in mind, uh, trying to get you everything you want. I'm trying to reduce the size of the file that you got going on too, because it's not massive or nothing like that. It's not too big. In fact, I think it only came out to like 328 kilobytes. So that's next to nothing. That's next to nothing. But I can get it smaller than that. I can get it smaller than that because dude just went with the static sizes of everything. From what I noticed, like it looked like he didn't even try to do too good a job. It looked like he went wall by wall by wall by wall and did the whole thing with the fucking mouse. Like he didn't know how to do it with the keyboard, controller, change the sizes, and uh, none of that shit. So that's what I'm gonna do in order to reduce your the file size. Is I'm going to increase the size of some of these things. I'm going to make it to where instead of just having that one narrow path that you can just barely fit a truck through, instead I'm going to make it wide enough, hopefully make it wide enough where vehicles can pass one another or you got a lot of clearance. I'm going to put bonfires up above the top of it. I'm going to shrink the bonfire so you don't see it, but you see the flame. And then I'm going to put the signs that you wanted to. So like if you're on the PvE side, I want to make it very visible that you're about to cross over into PvP on the other side. And vice versa on the other side. If you're in PvP and you're heading back to PvE, there will be a clear visible sign across the top. It's taking me a little bit of time to make those letterings. Lettering can be a pain in the ass. Wait for it. Try to spawn it up, actually. Come on, now let go. Get my mouse back. There we go. Let me have this. Let me have this. Let me do two things. One, I want the details for this. Push this up, see if I can get a little better performance out of this. It's a pain in the ass when I'm streaming and doing this, so that's why it's actually kind of tricky right now. Just a second, I'll fix that. Change that. And where's my other one? And this.
At everyone, Ado Musk is live.
There's my third one. I knew you was gonna interrupt me. Let's go back to performance. All right. All right, come on now. Quit being janky. Yep. Pull that back. So we got a clean map with nothing on it. Okay, so let's load in, import JSON. We're gonna import that wall you sent me. While that's doing this thing, I'm gonna catch up on these messages y'all popped through earlier. I got busy today, so just a few. Okay. Now, here's what dude's shit looks like presently. It looks like he drew a straight line across and then gapped it out right here and made it follow the edges of these cities all fucked up. Zenit is actually right here. What I'm thinking, I'm gonna do it typically the same way, but I don't like all this bumpity rigid shit. Look how many he had to pile in here. Like there are hundreds of these things. This whole list of shit is all the crap he had to use, and it ain't gotta be like that. So instead of having all these all these fucking tiny bullshit, instead what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna increase the size, so it's gonna make it to where there's only gotta be one every few however long. And I don't like this whole whatever the fuck he's got going on here. I'm gonna try to make it as straight line as possible. I'm gonna try to make it as triangular as I can. I'm gonna start with a point here, and I'll shoot it this way back to this wall, and then this way back to this wall. But at the ultimately the wall will be a continuation of that straight line. Now, me personally, I don't know why he's got so many walls out here hovering over the ocean. Ain't no Nobody swims out past that point, dude. It's pretty obvious. You only got to go a little bit out that motherfucker. So that's all I'm gonna do. Is just come a little bit outside of it. Somebody swims around it, dude. They're obviously they swim at your own risk. You know what I'm saying? Like that's ridiculous to have to bring a wall out that far. That's weighing your server down. So fuck a lot of that. Now, second thing is let me uh let me pull up the file that I did open, and what was the name of it? Internal wall. DZE. There we go. Internal wall. They're going to see some differences here, but this is the foundation of what I'm building on, and this is how I marked it for myself. Go back to the map. Yeah, okay. So you'll see a couple of extra dots through there now. Those are markings that I made, and then this shit I started built. I always build on flat grounds, so I usually do it in airport. What I want to show you is this over here first. Get my let's just back over this way. There we go. That's good enough. Okay. All right. So this is how he's got the wall right now, and it's all kind of janky and whatnot. What I'm gonna do is increase the size of it, and I'm gonna run her a straight line. I'm gonna do everything I can to make it a reasonable size. I'm thinking right now it's set at about 1. I'm thinking somewhere between 3 and 4, depending on what I've already used. But I'm gonna try to run it a straight line all the way across. And then what I'll do, since I'm making it bigger, I'll then distend it down. So the wall height, well, I'm gonna attempt to keep it all the same height all the way across. Now, this shit is sticking out right here. This is what I used to make markers for where he had the entry points. Because like, man, you look at this stuff, man. You can't tell me this right here don't look janky as fuck. As soon as my system starts acting, stops acting. So, yeah, like look at that. Like like we're gonna eliminate the wood on this. So for like example, what you do to make that shit disappear is just take this the properties first. First, let's make sure this thing the one got bonfire right. Yeah, go to bonfire, go properties, scale, go 0. That eliminates the wood and it leaves the fire source. And so that's one of the things I'll be doing. I'm going to be replacing these tunnels with a type of these, but it's going to be turned flat. But the ground stays the ground, and it's just a tube that you'll go through instead. There will be no mistaking that that is a crossover point. Okay, so all of these, and there's a bunch of them. See all of these little extra dots that are sprinkled around through here, here. There's tons of them down through there. I'm going to replace all of those with this new one that I'm building. And the new one that I'm building is going to look like I've got a rough draft coming together already. I did a couple of parts and pieces. I meant to have more time for this today, but I got wrapped up in some other personal shit too, so I've been doing that also. And I've got some appointments and stuff to keep tomorrow, but I'll be able to get back a little bit of it. So this is what the wall itself is going to wind up looking like. I've already got it laid down the way I want. All right, I'm going to take one of the bonfires. This is one of the first. I'm just going to bring it here. Change the properties on it. Properties, scale, 0. Boom. Now, right now, you see little gaps right here, but here in a little bit you won't. I'm going to fill that gap with pieces of castle so that it edges in. So it'll look a little funny on the face of it, but it'll be a clearly marked entry point. What I'll wind up doing is taking this bonfire, set right about in here somewhere. Let's elevate it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it hover above. And then on either side of the lettering, on this side, you'll see PvP crossing over. So everything on the clean side of the wall, you know, is PvE. So on this side, it will say that it's PvP, marking that you're going into PvP territory. Let's take this, slide it up the way it was. the signs that I'm putting in for these things, I'm putting behind the flame so you can see it from above. You'll see it way above the thing, and it'll also clearly mark with light fixtures all the crossing points. So if you're wondering where you can cross at, you'll be able to see the light, you'll be able to see the sign. I also have one last thing. I'm going to create an invisible wall on the inside of this so that you can't shoot across. Where is it? Door. C. No. Door. Underscore. CA. No. There's a camera door. CAM. Door test camera. This. You're here, man. Okay. It's hard to see on this, but this is an invisible wall that you can cross through. You can also pick it up, but I'm not going to make it the way you pick it up. And I'm going to run this the entire size on the inside of this wall because you can't shoot through this, right? You can see it, you can touch it, you can grab it, but you'll cross right through it if you try to walk through it. And if you shoot a bullet at it, though, it stops a bullet. So that will stop PvE and PvE crossover. There won't be no way to shoot through from one to the other. Players can cross, vehicles can cross, but bullets can't. So you'll have less likely somebody over in PvP shooting through and hitting somebody in the PvE zone. Uh, that'll eliminate some of that cross. Now, this bullshit wall that I've got back here, that's just me making the signs. I wanted something flat to put against it, and I started making the signs. The problem is, or that I'm having at the moment, is that when you change the size of certain objects, it doesn't like to hold things like 90-degree angles, 45-degree angles, shit like that. It wants to put them back to the default. So I'm going to look for something big enough to make a sign out of. It's not going to give me any shit. Once I build this fixture and make it how I want it, to where the signs are clear, the lighting is clear, the invisible door, fill in those gaps, then what I'll do is I'll take the size of these two outside walls, and that's what I'm going to make the stretch of the walls out of. And then what I'll do is I'll insert these openings into all of your crossover points. So they will all look exactly the same. They will all look like they're supposed to. I'll be up at yeah, but that's where I'm at with it right now, man. Hopefully that'll take care of some of the problems you got going on. It should reduce your file size, and it should also make it a lot cleaner. Like, 'cause you saw what dude had done. Like, it was all ripped and jankety and fucking weird looking. So, but I'll get it all smoothed out and cleaned up. Um, Probably give me like a couple of days because I've got some other appointments. I've got a few appointments this week with me and my wife. So it'll probably be sometime within the next week I'll get this done. But in the meantime, man, that should get y'all up to date on what's going on. If you've got any info or anything you want me to do, particularly anything pertaining to this wall, just hit me up, let me know, take pictures, coordinates, whatever, and fill me in on this thread that we've got going on. Yep. With that, that should be everything you guys need. I'll send you this link here in just a second. I should have stopped already. I'll still.